Good morning, mob family. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hello, where's my opener? Oh my God. Is my opener ready? Not yet? There's only 4 people. Wait. You gotta wait for a little longer, let people come in because they're just arriving. I can see you in the camera.
It's mirrored.
Yeah, it's mirrored. I can see. Oh, look at your head.
I was looking on the other side.
Yeah, so let's wait. Let people come in. People come in. Hello, Enid. Good morning. Were you guys able to hear the theme music? I don't know. I almost want to play it again because it was so good. We only got 4 people, so we gotta wait a little bit, let everybody get here. If not, it's gonna be a very small, intimate mob family. Hello, everyone at YouTube. It's a nice day today. Z, turn on the fan and point it this way so we can get some air. And let's turn that off because that would not be good.
We're not gonna feel it.
I'm gonna feel it, trust me. Yeah, let me just turn off my phone so we don't get any. Don't put it on 4 because it can knock down the screens.
It knocks down the screen.
Yeah, leave it on 3. 3 is good.
I put on 2.
Not seeing it on the FB group. Let me go live.
On 3.
Remove, and then reapply. Save changes. It should be up on the FB group now. Good morning, Megan. How are you? I was like, who's Megan? It should be on the FB group now, Chris. Who is Amalg? And you're on YouTube. Thank you for being on YouTube. It should show up now. When Dolly's here, so when she gets back, she's gonna check on her machine to see if it's showing up on the FB, in the FB group. Because, you know, we have a dual system here happening. Oh, hello, Paige. Chris, hey, excellent. So we got people coming in. Fantastic. Yeah, sometimes what StreamYard does is that because I set it up like a week, maybe a week and a half in advance. And so by the time I get to the actual date of the show, it cancels it. It says it's no longer valid. And so I have to just kind of recheck it up. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Audrey. Enid. Good morning, Facebook user. There's always a delay. Yeah, usually there's a delay. So hello, everyone. Enid, you got in on Facebook. Fantastic. All right, hold on. Let me get my opener because we got enough people. So let's. Z, official opener. We're at episode 92. So come on in and say hello. Say good morning. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Mob to episode 92. Where are you? Oh my God, gonna knock down the screen.
Hello and welcome to Mom TV Kaffeeklatsch episode 92.
Have a great show.
Have a great show.
Now you gotta fix it on the other side too. Over here, near Peaches. Yeah. Don't look at that. Oh my God. Okay, I'm watching you.
I'm watching you.
Oh, good. We're watching each other.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. All right, so here we are. Let's see. What am I currently doing? So let's go over the quick announcements, the shout outs. So a huge shout out to everyone on YouTube. Hello. I'm wearing my other glasses today because the other ones were, Dolly was saying it was squeezing my head and she was scared it was going to squeeze my brain. So I'm wearing the non-squeezing glasses. No. You're here. Tell FB to get it together, Tammy. Welcome. So let's see. Everyone on YouTube, hello, YouTube world. Thank you for being here. We're at YouTube, Bitten Peaches or Storyteller. And just remember to hit that like, that subscribe, and notification bell so that you know when we do our shows. So we're there. Instagram. I haven't posted anything on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie because I've been busy in Nocturne Melody, And actually, I think I'm finishing Nocturne Melody today, if not tomorrow. The edits are coming up, and then it's going to go to the art. So look for Nocturne Melody in the art either Monday or Tuesday, and then you guys do your shredding. So get those claws sharp. So, but if you want to find us on Instagram, we're at Bitten Peaches. On Zazzle, M&S, there's some Zazzle stuff that's just amazing. I just had Dolly just designed a hat for me with the M&S logo. Not this. This is an old, like one of the first M&S logos. But there's another M&S logo that's in a circle. It has the M and an ampersand and S. But I want to have it for my signature Terry Pratchett type kind of hat that I wear everywhere. I'm waiting for it, so we'll see what happens. So go to Zazzle, go to M&S, so EMANDES at Zazzle.com, and you'll find all the swag for M&S there. Let's see, I'm gonna put up some links. So here we go, links for Zazzle. This is from some anonymous Facebook user. When you go to Zazzle, please use that referral link because it makes it easier for us to track everything. I'll put up the YouTube one in a second. So that's Zazzle. Patreon, I want to thank Connie Cleary because she's our most recent patron. So there are a group of stories that only exist on Patreon. So you want to go to Patreon, you want to become a patron to get access to those stories. The short stories, I think it's called micro short stories because they're really short, like 1,000, 2,000 words. I'm going to switch links. So here we go. This Facebook user is amazing. So Facebook user, which is really Dolly. She's gonna put up the link. I put it up here. Go to patreon.com, follow us on Patreon, support us even more because you guys already support us considerably, but support us even more, and you get exclusive stories. The next story is coming out. Let's see, what's it? March, April, May, in June, at the end of June, and it's called Peanut 2, but not Peanut 2, Peanut 2 TOO, and it's gonna go like in a day in the life of Dex teaching Peanut how to use her power. So it's gonna be a lot of fun because things are gonna be exploding, breaking. Dex has got to keep his cool and not like lose it. The Morrigan is gonna make a cameo. Maybe even Monty and Simon come in. So that's gonna be Peanut 2. That's gonna come out for the Patreon story of June. So if you're a patron, you're gonna get it. If you're not a patron, you're gonna hear about it, but you're not gonna be able to read it. So go join Patreon. We have really amazing tiers. It's like $1, $5, $10, right? Something like that. Yeah, so it's really low tiers. So all levels, it's just join. All levels get the story. So whether it's $1, $5, $10, you all get the story. So I wanted to make it like really affordable, really awesome. E-newsletter. I don't think I put out a newsletter this month because again, I've been deep into Nocturne Melody, and we'll talk about it later, but writing Night Warden is a different experience from writing Mountain Strong. It's just, we'll get into it in a little bit because that's what I'm doing right. I'm in the last part of Nocturne Melody, which I thought I would have been at by last week. By this week, Monday, I thought it would have been out, but there were some delays and life, and so this is what happens. So it'll be out. It should be in the art for Monday and Tuesday. Excuse me. BookBub, we're on BookBub, so go find me on BookBub, bookbub.com, and you can find me there and just follow. That'd be great. And leave your reviews. Don't have to be a long book. It's just go there and you can find me there and just leave a short review of everything that you've read. Not everything you read, but just if you read something recently, we review there. And we're also on Binge Books. BingeBooks.com is trying to be another BookBub type thing, like where writers and readers connect. But even better. I've been coached to say that. Like BookBubs, but even better. Maybe they should use that. I don't get sued by BookBub. So yeah. All right, so welcome everyone. Let's see what we got. Let's see who's here. Did I put up the pictures? Yeah, I did. Zazzle. This is our Instagram link. Go to Instagram. We can find us there. All right, let's see. Who didn't I say hello to? Hello, Heather. Hello, Mary or Marie. Dan the man, Mr. Awesome. Good morning from Liverpool, where I'm out with my other. Oh, please wish Miss Fong a happy birthday. Awesome. Let's see. Who else is here? Hello, Connie. Welcome. So everyone, I think, is here now. Everyone's here. I think everybody's here. Let me say hello, Connie. Hello again, Connie, on YouTube. Hello, welcome. I'm hiding this this link. So, how is everyone doing today? You couldn't get a link. A link to what? Kathy, I'm your Huckleberry Ringo. Good morning. How are you? UPI. What is the UPI? What are we talking about UPI? I do not know. Can you clarify, Megan? Who's Facebook user? Good morning, sir. Really? Julian. Wow, it's been a while. Welcome. I haven't seen you in a bit, so I hope everything is going well. Thank you for being here today. These glasses feel weird now. Man, it's like I'm so used to the silver ones because the silver ones are tighter on my head. And I guess if I have to do any Tommy stunts, I can move around and do things. And these kind of slip off. So I don't know. We'll see. I might have to get another pair that's a little tighter. It doesn't squeeze the way the other ones do.
You know Warren Parker has stores in Manhattan?
I didn't know that. Really? I only thought they had an online thing. That's interesting. The glasses that I wear, not that I'm endorsed by them or anything, are Warby. Is it Warby Parker? Warby Parker. Really good glasses. This and the silver pair that you see me wear are Warby Parkers. I was able to just get them online by sending them a prescription and emailing it to them, and they mailed me my glasses, which was awesome because I had another pair before and they broke and I only had one pair. And you know how awesome that is as a writer to have your only pair of glasses break in the middle of a story as you're writing it, and now you're at the screen like this. Huh? I can't see. Are those ants crawling on the screen? So this time I got two pairs, but I might have to get another pair. I think I'm due to re-up the prescription. Yeah. You're lucky you're not on camera. So, I've been doing some research. This is a total aside. We're gonna get to the stuff that's in the episode today. Total aside. I've been doing some research on dangerous women in stories, right? And there are few, right? But I'm gonna use this. No, I don't have bifocals yet. Who is that? Chris? Don't have bifocals yet. Not yet. So I've been doing research on dangerous women, and I came across and Dolly. I think I've shown Dolly some episodes of Beth Dutton. If you ever watch Yellowstone, Beth Dutton is a dangerous woman, but the character is written so well that, and if you ever watch the show Yellowstone, like episodes of Yellowstone, it's like an American Western story. Kevin Costner's in it. The guy who plays Rip is Cole Hauser, which I didn't know. I didn't recognize him because he has a beard in the show. So all the cast is excellent. The writing is fantastic, and it's kind of like an old Americana story. It's all very Western about a ranch in Montana. But the lead female character, which is Beth Dutton, is written so well, and she has a relationship with Rip, and their interaction is amazing. The way it's written is amazing. So if you ever get a chance to watch Yellowstone, I don't know, I think it's on Paramount Plus, so not everybody has Paramount Plus, but if you get a chance to watch Yellowstone, or even on YouTube, you can watch episodes of like this. Just type in Beth and Rip Yellowstone, and you'll see that you'll see the interactions. But she's flawed. She's broken. She's got serious issues, but the writing is done so well that you can't help but like the character. And just for that character alone, I mean, Rip is written well, really, really well too. Yes, I can see your name now, Chris. Awesome. So yeah, who's Irene Adler? Who's typing Irene Adler?
Chris.
Oh yeah, Irene Adler is a whole different study. Like Irene Adler. Okay, so just to kind of give you a background, the reason I'm studying these women in these stories, these characters, is because I'm writing the Stray Dogs, and in the Stray Dogs, Regina, who's one of the main female characters, is a dangerous female mage who kind of has, I want to say, friction or tension with Sebastian, which you met in Lost Ruins. So I'm doing a lot of background work, and she's a sociopath. And so Irene Adler, Beth Dutton, and Alice Morgan from Luther. Alice Morgan from Luther is out there, sociopath. So these characters are I'm gonna kind of congeal them all, kind of mix them all together, and they're going to inform kind of the temperament of Regina. So, yes, every once in a while, you guys have to remember to authorize StreamYard to show your name. It happens. Okay, so what are we doing? Lost Runes. Any questions, thoughts, ideas on Lost Runes? Because it's been out there now for almost a month? No, less than a month, because it came out on the 31st, right? So about 3 weeks. Any ideas on Lost Runes? And congratulations to MM Crumley for taking #1, because I was holding on to the spot for a little while. And every so often you just gotta let it go, because you can't stay there forever. And MM swept in with the Requiem, and not my Requiem, her Requiem, and came in and took the #1 spot. So congratulations, MM, on taking #1. It's hard to move Paulo Coelho from that spot, but it does happen. So any ideas on Lost Runes, guys, and thoughts, opinions? I got a review that said Lost Runes was what did they say? There's a lot of reviews, so it's hard for me to read it. To remember that Lost Runes was slow. It was a slow story. I was like, because I think a lot of readers are used to the Michael Bay approach to writing, whereas the first page starts with an explosion or something, and it goes throughout the book like that. At least in Monty Strong's world, there's a lot of explosions, and a lot of things getting destroyed. And I wanted to kind of shift it a bit, because what's happening with the characters is that they're maturing, they're growing, and they're going through a different phase, and they're getting stronger, but at the same time, that strength is not a permanent thing. And so they have to start using other tools at their disposal. It's not just blow everything up. And especially when it comes to the Moscow, Olga does not like her building getting blown up. So, yeah. Well, yeah, I know. That's true, Chris. I started Monty and Strong. Tonyas and Butterfly starts with Monty and Simon chasing a rabid werewolf down the streets of Lower Manhattan. So it kind of set the tone for the series in a way. Yeah, I didn't think so either, Tammy. Tammy's saying it wasn't slow. It just had slightly fewer pyrotechnic events. It does have slightly fewer pyrotechnic events, because they're not a device, not a plot device. I mean, it does happen often, but it's not a plot device that they just blow up everything, although they get blamed constantly. But it's not like, let's just go blow everything up. Occasionally, some of the stories have to have a different pace. And I know I've explained it a bit in the room and before in the last episode. Lost Runes, Archmage, and Entropy are a smaller arc within the larger overarching arc of their series. So this arc ends in Entropy. So this is kind of setting the groundwork for the next 3 books. So Lost Runes sets up Monty and Strong dealing with these runes. Archmage, it's not that Monty becomes an Archmage, if I can spoil it that way. But he doesn't increase in power, but they interact with Archmages and how to deal with getting access to the other runes to confront the main antagonist in Entropy, who I'm sure you guys know by now in Lost Runes. So, which tech analogy, Tammy? Because my brain is like a sieve sometimes. So, yeah, Alfred Hitchcock was a master of his craft. So, you go back to the times of Alfred Hitchcock when he was making films. He didn't have all the technology, so a lot of it had to be creative and had to be kind of out of the box. So he would use what he had at hand, right? What was available to him. He'd use the shadows. He'd use the cinematography, the cut scenes, and most important was the story, obviously. But he was a master of his craft. People still study his work, So yeah, it's true. So let's see. The Lost Runes are not slow. It's well paced, coherent, and supports the idea. Yeah, of evolving characters. That was what I was going for with it, and it's as I was writing it. When I'm writing it, it gets sometimes I get a little lost in the weeds because I'm in the middle of writing it. But it's a great foundational book, and it's a nice kind of connection between broken magic and Archmage, because Broken Magic was like, whoa. And so Lost Runes is a little bit of a breather, even though it has its moments. There's a lot of learning in Lost Runes for the duo, for the trio, mostly for the duo. And so now they get that. Now you've got to approach Archmages and see what happens. Have suggested that Monty having the rune and Simon having the trigger was a two-factor, or kind of, yes, it's kind of a two-factor authentication, yeah. It had to be divided that way because I couldn't have Monty have the entire rune. He's just not strong enough to possess the entire rune. So the way around that was like the same way with the Stormblood. It's kind of divided between the two of them, and because they share that kind of bond of brotherhood, and so it was better to give the rune to them in two parts. So you need both of them to activate the rune, which is going to create problems in the next few stories, because that kind of means like, you know, when the twin powers activate kind of thing, where they got to kind of be together to do it. But it's also going to make them stronger, because not any one of them can't do it, but together they can. So they have to work together on this. So it's important to have it that way. And it just reinforces kind of the underlying theme, or the through line of the series, which is family. And, you know, you choose your family, which is important. And yeah, and so friends get you through all sorts of stuff that should probably be fatal. I've had plenty of friends who've saved my behind when I was younger. And a lot of them are the reason I'm here today, because some of the things I did when I was younger should have taken me out. But I had friends who were like, this is not a good idea. Or in the midst of what I was doing, were able to kind of extricate me, take me out before it was too late. So individually, they're strong. Together, they are amazing. And they each have their own baggage. And we're going to be discussing that a lot in Archmage, because this one kind of focuses more on Monty, his past, and his growth as a mage. And so you're going to see a lot of the behind the scenes of that world. And then in Entropy, they both face off against the Keeper that wants to kind of destroy everything. And then it goes into Corpse Road, which is the book after Entropy, which is when Simon starts seeing dead people, which is going to be a lot of fun. Enid, I'm with you. It would be great if this would be an anime, because I think you could do a lot more in the anime than you can do in live action. Although, if any of you ever seen the show The Magicians, there's definitely a possibility of making it a live action movie, because the technology, the CGI, the special effects are there now to create a believable story live action. I'm sorry to hear you had that VP schedule you on all hands doing your weekly MS injection. Take care, Anthony. Have a great, great weekend. Thank you for dropping in and saying hello, at least. It's awesome. Yeah, The Magicians was an excellent series. It's on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix. It's been there for a long time. If you get a chance to watch it, please do. It's really well done. And the way they explore the magic and the way they demonstrate the magic, the way they show it, the effects of the magic, were very well done. And it's kind of old at this point, but they did it really well. So if you get a chance to watch it, watch it. Yeah, definitely, Connie. Yeah, they do a lot. Yeah, they do a lot of the finger wiggling, which Simon criticizes Monty for all the time. It's like, you know, go do your finger wiggles. But look, I grew up with anime. In anime, they would do this and this and this, and those are all called in reality. They do it a lot faster. Like, let's say if you were watching Naruto or some of the animes where you do this, or Full Metal Alchemist, and then bam. But those are called mudras, and they are real things. If you do your research, mudras are real hand gestures that were supposed to kind of put the person in a certain frame of mind. So, and there's a lot of them, and they all have a significance. So even though I'm saying finger wiggles, which is what I call them, because that's what they look like, they're actual real things. So yes, mudras are important. Mages use a variation of mudras, and that's where they come from. That's where the finger wiggling comes from. But they are real things, and they've been around. Geez, I want to say they've been around thousands of years, almost, if not hundreds, if not thousands of years. They're very old. I agree, Cindy. The last season of Magicians, I haven't seen it yet because I kind of dropped off. You know, I have to do this thing called writing. I don't have time to watch the shows too much. So, but yeah, you'll enjoy it. I mean, if you've seen up to the last season, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. So, and where are you exactly that you can still watch it on DVD? Yeah, I'm with Chris on this one. Where exactly are you, Cindy? The DVD is still the best way over here, which leads me to the think that your digital uh, setup infrastructure is still working. Yeah, okay, definitely DVD is the way to go if you're in Alaska. I don't know where King Salmon is in Alaska. Where is that? Dolly, can you look at King Salmon, Alaska? We're gonna check to see how far away you are. And amazing that you're here with us right now, Cindy. That is incredible. I am impressed. You're with us from King Salmon. Or is it Salmon? Salmon? Alaska is another world.
Located 284 miles southwest of Anchorage on the Alaska Peninsula and serves as a gateway to Katmai National Park and Preserve.
Wow, you're far away. So I'm not going to be in your neighborhood anyway, anywhere, time, any place soon, Cindy, because you are really basically in another world, basically right now.
Home to the largest run of salmon in the world.
Wow. Look at that. We get some nature. Who said that? Our show is so diverse. We get nature and everything. Say rural village, fly in, fly out, 1 hour flight from Anchorage. So you're basically, what was that show we used to watch?
Yes.
What was that show we used to watch?
Ice something.
No, not Ice Something. Beyond the Arctic Circle or something, where they would live like near the Arctic Circle.
Yes.
Life in something.
The Arctic, I'm guessing.
I don't know. Life in the Arctic.
So there's also another show. There's Ice Something.
Oh yeah, but there was this woman that lived like 30 miles from the Arctic Circle or something, and that's basically where Cindy is. She had to fly in and fly out to get
Very cool.
It was awesome. That show was awesome, and they were all in Alaska. Oh, you had a wolf in the yard this week. See, we don't in New York. We don't get wolves in the yard at all. No, it's not against the ice. It's life in the Arctic or something like that. I think, or beyond the Arctic Circle or something like that. Yeah. The name of the show, I don't know what the name of the show is. It's something like Life Below Zero. Life Below Zero. Thank you, Facebook user. Is that
That's
Michelle?
Bliss.
Michelle, thank you. Life Below Zero. I used to watch that show all the time because it would show different people basically living a survivalist lifestyle because they were about as off the grid as you can get, but still being somewhat in civilization. And yeah, Life Below Zero was incredible because you had one woman who lived alone, and she had to have like weapons to keep bears away. Her main concern was that bears would come to her camp and take things, so she had to make sure she was armed to keep the bears away. Then you had a small family, a man and a woman. The woman was Alaskan, he wasn't, and they were just showing how they survived day to day. You had this one guy who was kind of on his own, he's kind of a loner, and he'd show him how he would live on his own and skin the meat and things like that. And it's really interesting, especially for someone who grew up in a city, when you think how big this country and the world is and how people are living completely different lives from you. Like I wake up, I'm in New York, but someone wakes up and they're in the middle of Alaska, and all they see is like snow or trees and, open spaces. Like that's one of the things I liked about Yellowstone that I was watching. The show is gorgeous to watch because they film it on this ranch, and the scenes that they show, the scenery is that you just see open sky. I mean, Montana is called Big Sky Country, right? But you see open sky and just mountains and open air, and it's like your nearest neighbor's 5 miles away. You never see that in a place like New York. So you don't see things like that. Yeah, I would imagine bears love being up. You're in their neighborhood actually. So imagine you would get a lot of bears up there, Cindy. Wendy says, I'd rather see an actual wolf than the porch pirates. Oh my God, the porch pirates. We get them here too in New York. They're not porch pirates. They're building pirates. They try to get into the buildings and I just swipe everything. So it's crazy. Yeah, Audrey, you have and Bear Mountain's up there, and it's not named Bear Mountain for it's not an accident. There are bears up there. Well, Tammy, your middle of nothing is like it's the complete middle of nothing. Your Vegas, because Vegas. So when I went to Vegas, Vegas is this city. You can study the history of Vegas a bit. Vegas is a city that they placed in the middle of a desert, and then when you get to the outskirts of the city, it really is the city is here, and it ends, and it's all desert from here on out. That's it. It's just like this amazing, stark end of the city. So it really ends, and then it's just desert. Like so, when I went there to 20 bucks 50K a few years ago, and you looked out from the hotel. So I'm looking out from the hotel. I'm looking at Vegas. I'm looking at the city, and then I look past the city, and it's just mountains and nothing, just desert. And when you get there, right? Because we went there with Tammy and Larry. You get out there. I want you to imagine being in a sensory deprivation tank. You don't hear anything. That is what the desert of Vegas is. You hear nothing. It's absolute silence. It's the most amazing thing. Like if you could take a walk through that kind of environment, it's incredible. It's just quiet. I was like, because imagine for a person like me living in New York, there's always some kind of sound, whether it's cars, people, there's traffic, always, it's nonstop. And I've gotten to the point where I don't pay attention to it because for me it's white noise, right? But then when you get to a place like the desert of Vegas, there's no background noise at all. It's absolute silence. And I was just sitting there like, wow, there's no noise. It's so quiet. So it was amazing. That is amazing. And thank you, Tammy and Larry, for that. I will always appreciate and treasure that trip to the Vegas desert. Yeah, Chris, there was definitely a look of shock on my face. And I was like, so this is the sound of silence. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, Megan, you're gonna love it. You're gonna be able to hear nothing, really hear nothing. If you can get a chance to get out of the city, because the city itself it's really vibrant. And there's a lot of energy in the city because it's all casinos and hotels and a lot of tourists. But if you can get to the edge of the city, and be careful because there are dicey areas in parts of the city. If you can get outside the city and you can manage to walk in the desert, please do. But just don't go alone because it can be dicey out there. Let's see. There's shifters visiting from the city. Ah, okay. There are who's there so bad here too? Who's that? Go up a little. Is it the Bears? I don't know who that is. So you can eat bear meat? I never had bear meat. I don't think I would ever go out hunting bears. So but I guess in a place like Alaska, you can. But aren't they protected in Alaska? Like you can't.
Blue.
Oh,
They're
Michelle.
so bad here.
Yeah, I think they're protected in Alaska. Like you just can't go around hunting bears, right? How is the bear meat, Audrey? I've never had it. So is it like steak? What is it like? Oh, the David Drummond. Yeah, that Sound of Silence that's Disturbed, right? David Drummond. That's from Disturbed. David Dryman, I think that's Disturbed. That's that version of Sound of Silence by Disturbed.
Oh, that's the excellent.
That's the most excellent one. I mean, yes, I get it's a Simon and Garfunkel song, but David Dryman did it. That's the most incredible version of the most incredible cover of Sound of Silence. Yeah. Hello, Michelle. Okay. Yeah, Michelle. Say from Michelle. I'll put Michelle in there somewhere because I don't know who Facebook user is. Oh yeah, that's another thing, Heather. In Vegas, if you can get to the edge of the city, or I guess in any place, if you can get to where there's not enough light pollution to drown out the sky. So when I say light pollution, like lights at night, you can actually see a sky full of stars. It's incredible. Oh, I see. So there's no fat. So it's mostly lean meat. Got it. Let me just put this up on the screen for people who don't have names. Go to this link, give them permission, and they will use your name will come up, and it's safe. As Chris always says, it's safe. Yes, you can see forever. What is this YouTube video? Oh, that YouTube by that Facebook user, that amazing anonymous Facebook user, is the Sound of Silence video from Disturbed by David Draymond, which is amazing, amazing, fantastic. You can see forever in the desert. I believe it. Yeah. Yeah. Megan, get out to the desert. Go with someone. Don't go alone. And go enjoy some silence. That'll be amazing. I can't tell you how incredible it was to go out there. That version of Sound of Silence is incredible. So if you haven't heard it, click on that link and go hear it. It's amazing. I believe that, Cindy, because if you have, see, we don't have to worry about that in New York. This is a whole different kind of thing, you know. But if you're in the wilderness or out like in Alaska, and a bear is coming at your house, there's no one you can call. Like, you can't call the bear police or wildlife and, you know, whatever. You've got to deal with this situation there and now. And so that means you have to be armed, right? You're not going to scare a bear with loud noises. Although maybe you can, but bears don't scare easily. And if it's a mom with her cubs, then she's probably looking for food. In that case, I saw a picture recently online of a bear paw. It was the size of my head. It was like this, just the hand itself, the paw. Then it had these claws coming out of it. One swipe of that, and you're done. You know, it's like it really comes down to you or the bear at that point. So you have to be careful, because in rural places like that, bears do break into the homes because they're usually looking for food. Okay, I'm taking down this link, but go there and StreamYard will show your name. It is safe, guys. Yeah, Chris, like you said, it's you or the bear. All right. So Lost Rooms, we discussed a bit. Nocturne Melody. One of the things about, and I've said this before, excuse me, but Nocturne Melody, Night Warden books that I'm writing, they all seem to have a really dark element to them. And most of it is because the main character is dying. And even though that's been kind of, I want to say, it's been arrested for now, it's been held, it's kind of in stasis, but it's a different perspective of the character. And so in this story, I'm not going to give it away because I don't spoil books that way. I mean, I'll give you snippets, but I'm not going to spoil the book for you. It's going really well, Chris. And now I'm getting to that point where I have to kind of end it. And we're at the final place, and we're the final, what I call when I do my outlines, I have like things called epic battle, epic final battle, or epic boss battle. So this is the last epic battle. And yeah, there's like a twist, there's betrayal, there's loss. It's a whole thing. And so I have to reconcile those feelings within Gray in a way that tells the story the way it needs to be told. And Gray is just a dark character. I can't there's no way around that kind of thing. Gray is a dark character. He's not, I won't say he's cynical, but he's a realist, and he sees life a certain way. And so writing his story always takes me to this it's an unfamiliar place usually. And if you notice, the Night Warden series, this is the third book in the Night Warden series. And I think I started around the same time as Montague and Straw, right? Close to around the same time. But there's only been 3 books in the Night Warden series because writing it is tough. Okay, I was having this conversation with Dolly yesterday, or the day before yesterday. Writing in itself is tough. Certain books are tougher than others, right? Night Warden books are both easy and hard. The interactions with the characters are very easy because I know these characters so well. Writing the story itself is hard because I have to deal with the issues that Gray is going through in a way that tells a story that isn't a complete depressant because he's so dark, you know? So it's tough. I love the story. It's fantastic. It's fun to write, but Night Warden is hard in the sense of that. It's just getting around that aspect of the life, the world. Mountain Storm, I don't know how. And I was telling Chris this, like, where do authors get their ideas and how do we write what we write, and we really don't know. And any author that tells you I know where all ideas come from is lying to you. So, but Mountain Storm for me is very easy to write. It's just I can just get into the story. I create the story and I create the situation, the context, and it's almost, I won't say total, but it's almost autopilot. There's always bumpy areas, but for the most part, the whole of the story is amazing, and easy to write for me. Like I can write because I can hear as Monty and Simon speak and Peaches what he's gonna say and when he's gonna say it. And Night Warden is a little different. Night Warden has that same kind of flow, but the story's dark. And Gray has to confront his past on a regular basis. And so the way he does that, the way he reconciles what he did in the past and what's going on in the present, the fact that he's now opening up to accepting people in his life when before he was reconciled with the fact that he was going to die, he didn't need anyone, he was prepared to check out, and now that's been turned around, it changes the whole dynamic of who Gray is as a mage and as a person. And yes, he's dark, but that's just the way he is, So that's how the Night Warden book is going, Chris. So yeah, Night Warden is heat, serious and dark. Yeah, it's like heat. Yeah, and that was the only time De Niro and Pacino worked in a movie together. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was the only time. Or it was maybe one of twice, which still boggles my imagination because those two actors should have done many more things together. Okay, Cindy, thank you so much for coming by. Make sure you walk around with your Glock when you walk your dogs, just to stay safe, okay? And yeah, you still have a week left. Don't use it all today on our show. And stay warm up there. And say hello to everybody in your neck of the woods, Cindy. Thank you for coming in. Have a great weekend. And nice meeting you. Yes. So Heat was an amazing movie. If you haven't seen Heat, you should see Heat. It's like this show is like a show of everything. I'm gonna call it. This show is the Seinfeld of everything. It's a show about nothing and everything. The Kaffeeklatsch. So yeah, so here I am, still discovering, and this is what I mean about New York City. I'm still discovering parts of New York City, and I've lived in this city my entire life, that I can put into stories that I haven't been to. So in this story, we're going to Fort Totten, which is actually, and we should go there because it's a park, baby. To Fort Totten? Really? Oh, I haven't been there yet. So, and it's an old Civil War fort. Did you go to the Civil War fort? I've never been, no. And I live here, born here, raised here. Yes, Tammy, it's very true. So we relegated ourselves to choosing the revealing colors between black and white, and choices are never that easy. This is very true. Okay, so yeah, we do talk about everything under the sun. Angie Fox has a new book out this week. What is it about, Wendy? Because we need to know. And I don't know who Angie Fox is, but I'm always game to support authors. Exactly, Michelle. Yeah, I agree. There's like 47 detours, some snacks, maybe a nap in there. It's like, so that was your day. Got it. And that's basically how some of the writing goes. It really does. All right, Chris, let's do authors before we get to the questions, because I want to spend time on the questions. So let's go through our authors. We have our links. Let's go for it. Who are we going to promote first? So we're trying to make it so we promote authors in every show, in every episode, because it's really important to promote indie authors. And this is what we do. Let's see. So our first author is going to be Ben Zakheim, Unholy Deuce, Amina and Ichabod. from the duo, which is the Delta Underground Operatives, pre-order link. So this is coming out soon now because I saw Ben post something recently, like yesterday or the day before. So this is coming out really quick. So get your pre-order. The duo is a group of authors that have gotten together to write in the same shared world. So that's a great idea, a lot of fun. I won't say it's a collaboration, but it's mostly like authors all playing in the same sandbox kind of thing. So go grab Ben Zackheim's Unholy Deuce. He's one of our mob authors, and let's support our indie authors. Let's see, who else do we have? John P. Logsdon, Grave Crusade, Grave Digger Book 5. So the Grave series is doing really well. I have this book. I have the Unholy Deuce. If I'm not mistaken, I think I pre-ordered it. So go get John Logsdon's Grave Crusade, Grave Digger Book 5. I don't know how long the series is going to be, but it's at 5 books already, which is a pentology. So, and I can tell you that's tough to write past 3 books. So get this one. We support our indie authors, and John is one of us. He's a mob author. We should start creating a new category, mob authors. So go get this book and let's support our indie authors. Our next author is, and all these links should be up in the mob once the show is done. We'll put Chris, make sure we put up all the links, please. So the first audiobook, this is Rick Gualtieri. The first audiobook of Build a Vampire is up for free on YouTube. So that's pretty awesome. So you can go to YouTube at this link, go to this link, and you can hear the first audiobook of Build a Vampire. Rick writes kind of adult stuff, so there's cursing and things like that. So I just want to let you know. So if that's going to offend your sensibilities, just be aware that there is some strong language in there. Okay? So, but go get that. You can listen to the book for free. That's awesome. Thank you, Rick, for doing that. That's incredible. Pirates, Ghosts, and Murders from is this from Angie Fox? So she's an Amazon author, so go check it out. I don't know this author, but we'll put him out there for now and see. Steve McHugh. So this is the Hellquin Chronicles author. But he's written a new book called Riftborn, and it's in the I believe it's in the Rift Wars saga, if I'm not mistaken. So Talon's Wrath is book 3, and this is its link. It's a pre-order, so go get it. Just click, get the pre-order now, and when it drops, when it goes live, you'll have the book in your inbox. Let's see, R.L. King. R.L. King's writing books like crazy. So R.L. King has her Alistair Stone Chronicles box. If you haven't read R.L. King, you should. Alistair Stone's a really fun character. He reminds me a lot of Monty, without Simon as a foil. It's just Alistair. But he's a great character. He's a lot of fun. And R.L. King is a great writer. So go read Alistair Stone. You'll get lost. He has I want to say 26, 27, 30 books. It's like a huge series at this point. It's the only series she's doing, but it's a really fun series. So go get the Alistair Stone Chronicles box set. You start there, and then you're just going to go into a whole bunch of series. Our own M.M. Crumley has released Doc Holliday Book 12, Requiem. Not my Requiem, M.M. Crumley's Requiem. And that's Megan's Requiem. And it's a great premise. Doc Holliday, the Doc Holliday, is immortal. Because that's, if you look at the book, it's called The Immortal Doc Holliday. And he goes on these adventures. So go grab it. This book just released. It's currently #1. And we support our indie authors. Megan is a mob author, so go get this book and, go read. I have all these books, by the way. I just haven't been able to read them. So, but they're all in my TBR, which thankfully is digital and not physical. Because if it were digital, Dolly would be like, we need to have a warehouse because we can't afford to have all these books in one place. So, if they're all physical, we need to have a warehouse because where would we put them all? As it is, our living room is a library. So, let's see. Wendy. Okay, so Wendy kind of put up the synopsis for the story. So if you want to read the story, the synopsis, it's right there. You're very welcome, Megan. We support our indie authors here. Let's see. There's some other guy. Let's see who this guy is. Oh, Chris Chrisman, Wild Magic. Go get this book. He's one of our mob authors. You guys know him. So yes, please get Chris Chrisman's book. Amazing, amazing story. You'll get lost in the story. And Chris, you planning to write this is going to be a long series? Are you planning on going on? You guys can ask Chris. You have access to Chris. Let's see. All the book links will be posted after the show, and you'll be able to access all these. We have more, but I don't know if we have the links. We have Nasri Noor, Jonathan Yanez, we have Foxy Steele. All these authors are out there. They're indie authors, and they all need support. Sometimes they can't get the support that they need, and so we need to help them get their stories heard. Okay? So you're very welcome, Megan. 33. Wow. So R.L. King's up to 33 books. Yeah, she's been writing for a while. And plus novellas and shorts. That's fantastic. R.L. King does some amazing stuff. So go check it out. We have the, and if you, there's an author here that you haven't seen, sort of like what Wendy did today with Angie, just bring it to our attention. You know, let us know, and we can support our indie authors. And you know, that's what we do. That's what the mob does. That's why we're amazing. Okay, I'm going to questions. Hold on. Let's see questions. So I can't see the screen. I can't see the comments, but I'm going to go to the questions. All right. So here we go. First question. And first, let me just preface by saying thank you, everyone, for the questions. You guys are amazing. So the first question is, or first statement. This is a question. A lot of the M&S books. This is from Kathy Ringo, by the way. A lot of the M&S books pick up right after the prior one ends, time-wise. How much time has passed over the course of the series? That's a really good question. Do you know, Debbie? How much time has passed? I want to say a lot of time, but I also want to say like a short amount of time. I really, no, but how much time has passed in the books?
Oh.
In the story? Because the books pick up usually like concurrently, you know? Right. I don't know, Kathy. I'd have to investigate it, or you can ask Jeanette and Paige. They might be able to tell you because they're doing the wiki. But I want to say Monty and Simon are due for vacation. Definitely. But yeah, it's not a lot of time, but it feels like a lot of time. And then, you know, time is a fluid concept in the Monty and Strong world. So it could be a lot of time, but if Sid gets involved, it may not be a lot of time, or it can be a lot of time. It's a very, very loose concept. But I know it's like sometimes 3 days, sometimes 2 weeks in between the stories. So I want to say eons, and then I want to say a few months. That's the best I can give you, Kathy. But thank you for it's a great question. And I have to, if I sat down and actually gave it, I'd have to go from book to book to book to book and just calculate how much time passes. That's the only way I can really tell you. All right, next question from Audrey, who didn't see the post until recently. Orlando, what does success look like to you? To me, it looks like what I'm doing right now, writing stories and getting them out there, and and having readers enjoy them. That's success. Because when you're an author and you begin, which the only thing you want as an author, and I'm speaking for every author, the only thing you want as an author is for people to read your books and to share them if they enjoy them. That's all you want. So in order to have success and not just your books, but your stories, really. Fundamentally, it's your stories. So success is having people read your stories, enjoying them, and sharing them, and following you or being with you on this adventure as you continue to tell more and more stories, and they continue to join you on this trip, on this journey of you telling stories and them enjoying it. That's success. Everything else comes as a result of that. But at its core, for an author or for an artist, is creating something and having people appreciate it. That's success. It's a great question. Thank you, Audrey. Dolly, what fad did you purchase that you regret?
Oh,
fad. F-A-D. D as in David.
I have to think about that.
Mangosteen?
That was not me.
I can tell you right now, I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to, badmouth something, but this wasn't that great of a buy.
I don't know if this counts, but Shiba Crypto.
Shiba Crypto. She got it
bought it at the wrong time.
She bought it at the wrong time. And was it a fad?
Well, it was it was hot.
It's hot. Hot, she says. Okay, so that was something she purchased that she regretted. Boy, did you regret that one. She really regretted it. Okay, Orlando, what TV show from your childhood would you like to be rebooted? The Avengers, with Patrick McNee, that show. I'd love to see that come back. But the casting has to be phenomenal. I forgot the female lead. Forgot her name. Can you look up The Avengers with Patrick McNee? But I need the name of the female lead. But that story would be awesome. I'm not gonna say Star Trek because Star Trek has been done to death, and it's still really good. I think they're still doing Picard right now. So, but definitely the Avengers, because I have very fond memories of watching the Avengers with my dad, and he would sit down and he'd sit me down and we'd watch the Avengers, and it was such a great show. So, and I still have memories of the bowler hat and the umbrella cane that was also a sword. So it was fantastic. Yeah, and Emma Peel. Yes. So that would be a show I would love to see brought back, the Avengers, for a new generation. Yeah, that was a great show. And most BBC shows, like The Prisoner was a great series with the guy who's trying to escape, and that big lobby ball would come after him and trap him and then take him back to where he was a prisoner. That was always fun. Secret Agent Man. You can see I grew up with a lot of interesting kind of shows. That was very what's the word? Eclectic. It was an eclectic combination of shows that I grew up with. Oh, Get Smart would be fun to bring back, and Faulty Towers would be fun to bring back too. There are a lot of shows. This is a great question, Audrey. It just makes me reminisce of all the shows I grew up watching, which a lot of kids now don't have that because the shows, now everything's binged. So everything is, it's all streamed, and you don't. Back then we had to wait for a show to come every week. It was different back in the dark ages of TV. Let's see. Jaja. Oh, that was reminds me of Jaja Gabor. Your name's Jaja. Are all the spin-offs, tie-in books, stories leading us to something like the Avengers Endgame? Yes and no. There's going to be events like that, something like that's going to happen, but then the stories continue. But yes, it has like these crescendos and decrescendos that happen within the overarching arc of the series. Like right now, we're going to go through a crescendo, which is Lost Runes, Archmage, and Entropy. So yes, but there's going to be one where the 10 step in, but that's much later on. That's later on. But that's going to be more of an Avengers Endgame kind of scenario where we need the real heavy hitters. Okay. And I don't know, after the 10 step in, we may have to end the series. Who knows? Great question, Jaja. Chris Mendoza says, what is your favorite part of writing a book? Wow, let's see. There's so many different parts. The favorite part, I can tell you my least favorite part is the editing. I was telling Dolly this yesterday. The actual writing is the fun part, the creating. The editing, and only because my editing process it goes through several phases. So it's like edit, Dolly gets it, the art gets it, my editor gets it. And so by the time I've seen after each pass, by the time I'm at the last pass, I'm really thinking about the asteroid hitting the planet and killing everything. So, but the favorite part for me is the inception, the beginning, where you're thinking up the idea, the what if part. Like, what if this happened? Or what if this could happen? And what if that could happen? And you start fleshing that out. And you start bringing that part to reality. And you start bringing in characters. And what if Monty had a relative that wasn't exactly on the up and up, like Sebastian, And these things start coming in. And you start getting, I want to say it's inspiration, but you just get these real flashes of ideas that, they come at you, you look at it, you kind of turn it around, twist it, make it look, this can work, this can't work. So if it doesn't work here, you don't discard it, but you put it to the side. Say, I might use that in another story. And those moments are great too. Like you're doing something else, you're driving, or you're doing dishes, or whatever, and wherever it is that you don't have a notepad or a notebook or something to get an idea down, and that's when you get the really awesome ideas. And I've had to sometimes pull over to the side, and write down the idea on my phone or jot it down on something, because that's when I get the best ideas, when I don't have anything to write on. So that's also a favorite part of writing a book, is gathering all the ideas. It's a great question, Chris. Thank you. And thank you all, Kathy, Audrey, Jaja, Chris, for all the questions. Oh, here we go. Let's see, who did I miss? Let's see. Let's see, here we go. Let's go back. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, Marie had to leave. Bye, Marie. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here this weekend. Oh, trilogy. Okay, great, Chris. Hopefully you'll start another trilogy. So, awesome. Let's see. It's free on KU. Okay. Take care of the bespectacled author. I wonder who's the bespectacled author?
Mystery.
Oh, it's a mystery. Tammy says the MoB has nurtured several authors, and hopefully someday I'll be crowing about one of the next ones. Yes, I'm waiting too, Tammy. That'd be awesome. Our wiki fandom page would be right here. That's our wiki fandom page that's currently being worked on. So there you go. That's the wiki page. Go. Paige and Jeanette are currently working on this page. So Paige Guido and Jeanette Auer is working on this page. So take a look, see if you can see anything you need that needs to be added. Contact Paige. I think you can add to it yourself as well. So we'll make kind of an organic thing and make it grow. So this is the page. I'm going to hide it now. Tammy is saying they're forced to grow like house flowers. Yes. I think it's a very short span of years, but we believe, yeah, definitely a lot of timey-wimey thing happening in the Mountain Strong universe for sure. Let's see, happy writer with a happy family and happy readers. That's basically, that is, for any author, that's success. I know there's this whole stereotype of the tortured, starving writer, author, artist. That's not success. That's just torture. That's not the way it is. So have your health, being healthy, being well, having a happy family, being able to pay all your bills, all that stuff is part of success. You know, being able to write, just being able to write is having success, you know? Yeah, The Avengers was a show I think really had an impact on my formative years, because I really used to watch that show with my dad, and he made a point of me sitting down. And to this day, I remember there was this one, because Patrick McNee's character was like really smart. And to this day, there was this thing where a guy had a pea in his hand, right? And the Patrick McNee character had to move the pea before the guy could cut his hand. If I'm remembering correctly, you're talking about, I was 6, 7-ish. And Patrick McNee, I mean, I figured it out around the same time he did. All he had to do was blow on the pea, and it would move without putting his hand in danger. But it was such an amazing way of figuring it out, because other people tried different ways, and it didn't work. So, yeah. So there you go. So the Avengers would be great to see that come back. I don't know if they've tried it, but that would be great to see come back. Diana Rigg, yes. What other show was she in? She was in a few other shows. And she was in Game of Thrones. Diana Rigg was in Game of Thrones. She passed away recently, a few years ago. But she was working, she worked for a long time as an actress. She was in Game of Thrones. She was one of the matriarchs or something. But I didn't see Game of Thrones because it didn't call to me that way. Not like Ring of Power. Rings of Power. Anyway, so yeah. But Emma Peel played by Diana Rigg was a great actress, and she, back in those days, it was much harder for females to be leads, and she was a co-lead in that show. So it was an amazing show. She was suave, yeah. She definitely defined suave and cool, you know? It was that time of the year. The Prisoner was a great show. Let's see. I dislike assets that have a deniable link to reality. I don't know what that means, but I agree, Tammy, but I don't know what the context is for that. Peter Gunn, wow. Now, Peter Gunn is before my time. I remember seeing reruns of Peter Gunn, but that's way before my time. Faulty Towers will be fun, but it's going to be hard to replace that unless they have John Cleese, because he was the creative engine behind that. Like, Faulty Towers is before Monty Python. And so Faulty Towers was kind of like the incubator for what you later on saw in Monty Python. And Faulty Towers is hilarious. It was so funny. Oh, thanks, Glenn. Yeah, so this is on Sunday. This would be 3 months worth of growth, and it's growing in well. It's filling in. Yeah, I'm trying not to. Yeah, the desire to shave it off is gone now. Now it's just a matter of making it grow well, but it feels good. And Dolly gets to brush it. See my brush? She gets to brush it sometimes. Yeah, that feels good. So that's awesome. Connie, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us and being here. You're always welcome to come here when we have our Kaffeeklatsch episodes. Kind of like painting. The painting itself is good, but the cleanup is pain. Yes, very much. Writing is like any other artistic endeavor. To make it seem really good, there's a lot of work involved. And this is a topic I can go on. You can ask Dolly. This is a topic I can talk about for a long time. Chris says, I wrote a short scene with a barber when I got my last haircut. I told him about it and made him laugh. That's awesome. Let's see. The Wiki fandom page. Yes, I'll show it again because it's up there. Yeah, Paige, you are amazing. You and Jeanette are doing something incredible here. So please continue because it looks amazing. We need a beard contest. I don't know. Malcolm has a great beard too. And there was this whole comment about dyeing it. Like he dyes his orange and black, I think. I already did the dyeing thing. I did purple and silver. I'm not doing any more dyeing thing. I already have it dyed. It has silver in it. See? It's black and silver. So there you go. Oh, really? Monty Python was earlier than Faulty. I thought it was the other way around. That's interesting. It must be me misremembering. But I had the impression that Monty Python was after Faulty Towers. It's interesting. I'll have to look into that. But I know that they influenced each other, and John Cleese was kind of the creative engine behind both those shows. Yeah, I have a natural dye too. It's white. Exactly. Who needs to go? Someone said they need to go. Facebook user. Who's that? I need to go. Who? Oh, technical difficulties. Bye, whoever needed to leave. And we need to leave soon too, unfortunately, because it's almost time. My barber doesn't trim the beard. I haven't trimmed this yet. I'm trying to let it grow out as much as possible. So this is our oh, bye, Mary Beth. Thank you so much for being here. This is the part of the show where we discuss, beauty. And what is it? Grooming. Yes. So my barber doesn't trim it because I'm trying to let it grow in. So I haven't trimmed it at all. What he does is he does the edges, the lines, and all the edge work. But he doesn't do any trimming. He doesn't cut it down because I'm trying to let it grow in. At some point, I think I'll have to trim it though because it will get out of control. Thank you so much for being here, Michelle. Get to leave for a carpool. Get to the monster midgets. Yes, we all have a few of those. So thank you for being here. Have a great day. Drive safe. I know it's a carpool, but drive safe. Your wisdom glitter is gaining traction. Oh boy. I'm only as old as I feel, so Methuselah was an infant. Oh wow. If Methuselah was an infant, you're hitting eons at this point. So there you go. All right, guys, listen. On that note of being ancient and wise, we're going to end the show because I think that's a good note to end on. I want to thank you all for being here. You guys are amazing. I have a closer today. Where's my closer? Hello.
Oh, yeah.
My closer. My closer is on her way. Hold on. Don't knock down the screen. Where are you? Closer.
Thank you for watching episode MoB TV Kaffeeklatsch 92.
Right.
And have a good weekend.
Say bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the great, fantastic questions because they always do add a special dimension to the show. Go get the links for the authors will be in the MoB group. So please click on the links and support our indie authors. Our indie authors always need support. It's really important. For many, it's the only way they get the word of mouth is the only way they get their books marketed. So please take a moment, grab some books. They're almost always affordable, or they're on KU, and you can get them both ways. And I want you all to have a fantastic and amazing weekend. Above all, be uncommon.